Welcome to Mysteries Niger. I'm your host, Esther. A woman has a baby and she takes the baby to the hospital for its immunization. She goes there, gets it done. As she's about to leave, she notices there's a woman in the parking lot with a set of twins. She looks at them a little closer. The woman has a family member with her who is pushing one of her twins in a baby stroller while the woman is carrying the other twin, sort of a piggyback situation. And she looks closer at the woman, realizes, oh hey, that's my doctor's wife. Yeah, I was told she gave birth 6 months ago. I never got to say hi to the baby, so let's go say hi. She walks over to the baby, and the baby in the stroller looked slightly familiar, but the baby had a hat over its face. It's a sunny day, so she gets closer, says hi to the mother. Congratulations. Sorry I couldn't come say hi sooner. I'm actually a friend of your husband, close friend of the family. Yeah. The doctor's wife goes, how come you didn't come to our child dedication ceremony or even our other celebratory events for our newborns? And this other mother, Mother A, goes, oh, I was really busy out of town, couldn't make it, but can I see your baby? Can I see your baby's face? It's really hot. Can you take off the hat? I'm sure the baby's dying of heat wave. So Mother B, doctor's wife, takes off the hat, and Mother A takes the baby out of the stroller to hold the baby for a minute while having her own baby she brought to the hospital for immunization in her other arm, and she's gobsmacked. Which of this baby is mine? Wait a minute. Which baby is my baby? Because both babies are identical. And she's thinking, it can't be. It can't be. The doctor told me that my other twin died. So what is his newborn baby with his wife doing looking like my child when he told me my other child died? This is a case of Mrs. Eunice Bright Ekwok, and it's been shared by the family, the mother, the father, and the family lawyer, who are all looking for justice to be served. They all want their child returned to them, and they believe the child with the doctor is their child whom they were told died at birth. So if the child is really theirs, what are they doing with the doctor and his family? Let's get into it. Quick announcement before we get back into today's case. Mysteries Niger officially has a home on the internet now. You can find us at mysteriesniger.com. And no, it's not just a pretty little website sitting there looking mysterious for decoration. You can actually find all the episodes there, listen directly from the site, read episode details, check out transcripts if available, and basically stalk the shows in a much more organized way. If you've got a story, a weird local legend, a cold case from your state that nobody's talking about, or just straight up what the hell situation, you can now submit it directly on the site. So pause this for 5 seconds or don't. Keep listening and bookmark mysteriesniger.com. I repeat, mysteriesniger.com. It's a very windy day, hence the whistling sound. Mrs. Eunice Bright Ekwok is from Binekaba in Yala local government area, Cross River State. She and her husband Bartholomew Bright Ekwok are alleging that their doctor stole one of their babies at birth. In April of 2021, Mrs. Eunice discovered or learned that she was pregnant. So when she found that she was pregnant, she's like, oh, we already have 2 kids, 2 boys, but a child is a blessing. So let's go see how the pregnancy is going along. She goes to the first hospital and she runs a scan. The result comes back and she's told that she was 4 weeks pregnant, 4 weeks and 6 days pregnant, so a day shy of 5 weeks. And she said to herself, oh, that's really early. That's really, really early. So she said to herself, I still have time to make preparations and then revisit this whole pregnancy journey. At the time, she was working as what's the word? A retailer. Yeah, she was working as a retailer and she sold thrift clothes. She'd buy clothes in bulks. They call them bales, and she'd sort through it. You'd just pick a bale. Maybe you want jean stuff, or you want sequins, or you want shirts or skirts or corporate outfits, and you have no idea what's gonna be in there. Or sometimes you just wanna randomly pick a bale. You have no idea what you're gonna receive. You pay the price, they send you a batch, a bulk, a parcel, and you go through them. You sort through the good quality ones that could be sold, and the bad ones, you consider them your losses, and you would do that. There are people who make really good living off that, because at times you could get quality sets of clothes or items that you can sell for a great price, and other times even you'd get a batch sent to you, especially those that usually sell bags, purses. A couple of times you could go through them, maybe the pockets of the outfits you get, the purses, the pockets and everything, and you could find dollar notes, at times a little bunch of money stuck together, or even coins. You could find pounds, sterlings, you could find euro notes, you could find basically money in those purses, because the owners forgot to clean it out and just sent it off, to Goodwill, and it ends up in your possession, so you've got money. But it's like lottery. Chances of you getting it's always like winning the lottery. But just selling those items makes good living. She was doing that at the time, and after some time, she's pregnant. She goes to the hospital, keeps an eye on the pregnancy, tries to do everything properly as she should, because that wasn't her first rodeo. She's been pregnant before. She already had 2 boys, and now she's pregnant again. She knew exactly what to expect, how it goes. A year comes around. She's still pregnant. I mean, a year of pregnancy, anyone would be tired. At that point, she said she had fluid dripping out of her, blood dripping. She had this funky smell coming out of her because the pregnancy was long overdue. She goes to a new hospital, because anyone would think, the old hospital, what are you doing? If I'm pregnant for this long, you should be advising to get this pregnancy out of me. What's going on? So she goes to a new hospital. She tells them, I need to run a scan, and they asked her, have you been to other hospitals? At first she said she told them no, because she just wanted them to take her seriously and try to figure out what's wrong. Get this babies out of me. But then she knew she has to tell them the truth, because that's the only way they can help it properly. So she tells them, actually, I have done scan before at another hospital, and it's been a very long time ago, so just handle me like I'm fresh. I just came here with no visits to other hospital. So she got her registration card, registered freshly at this hospital, no medical records transferred or anything, and then they ran a scan on her. They told her, again confirmed, you are pregnant with twins. She said, makes sense. When she ran the first test, the pregnancy was 4 weeks old. They couldn't tell her the gender of the babies or anything. She just knew she was pregnant. But now they told her, you're pregnant with twins. She said, makes sense, because I'd feel the baby like moving around and protruding, like the arms pushing at her belly, and she'd see the outline, and she'd see like 4 arms, and she'd be like, am I carrying a little monster? 4 arms? Now it makes sense. It's actually 2 babies. They also confirmed to her that she was carrying 2 boys. She's thinking, oh my god, another 2 boys? I already have 2 boys. Now I'm gonna be a mom of 4 boys. I can't even imagine that. I hear raising boys is not all cute and dandy and pink and just Barbie, beautiful sunshine rosy day. If that's God's will for me, I accept. She was ready to go home with the scan result, because they just did the scan and everything. She said, okay, I'm leaving with this. I need to show it to my husband. They told her, ma'am, you can't go with your scan results. We're going to add it to your file and would keep it here. We never let anyone go with their scan results. You can't leave with that. Sorry. She's like, no, they're mine. Why can't I leave with them? They're mine. And I told her it's just our policy. You can't leave the hospital with your scan result. You will leave it as a part of your file, but you can go home with it. And she told them, the last hospital I went to, I left with my result. Why can't I leave with it? I couldn't really tell if it was like the ultra scan result. Did they let you leave with that? I could have researched this. Don't know why I didn't. But I'm also thinking, is it like the cute ultrasound, baby picture that you get when you have your first scan and you see those black grainy footage and just this white dot somewhere in the middle? Is it that, or is it full on chart? Because if it's the cute one that you could request, I need a photo of my scan of my baby, I mean, you can go with that. So which was it? I don't know. Won't speculate, but they told her you can't leave with it, and she said she stood her ground, saying, I will not leave without this. I paid for this. My husband paid for this. He needs to see our babies. I'm not leaving without it. Eventually, one of the nurses told her, okay, ma'am, how about this? You go home with the result today, show to your husband, come back tomorrow and turn it over so we could put it with the rest of your files. She was happy with that. That was a perfect compromise. So she said, that's good. Now you're making me happy. Yes, I will come back tomorrow with the result and you can tuck it away wherever you need it to be. Thank you so much. And she leaves with the scan result. On her way home, she tells the husband, I'm coming home. I got the result. I'll show you your little boys. Before even getting home, she started getting calls from the hospital. The nurse was calling her, ma'am, I need you to come back and return the file. I shouldn't have let you leave with it. And she said, we already had an agreement that I'd return it tomorrow, so I barely even got home to show it to my husband. Why are you asking me to bring it back now? So she decided to just ignore them and go back the next day. Whatever will happen, will happen. She gets home, shows it to her husband. The husband was happy. They're having twins, boys. Great. And the next day, she went back to the hospital, turned over the result, thanked the nurse for letting her leave with it, and then she fixed a date for her delivery, because at this point she's been pregnant for over a year. This is now April 2022. She found that she was pregnant in April of 2021. She fixes a date for her delivery, which was to happen on the 10th of June 2022 via cesarean section. And she said that right from her first pregnancy, the doctors had told her she had a male-like pelvis, meaning she had a narrower pelvis, because females have wider pelvis than males, and that helps with delivery, natural delivery, which is also why in time past, when a young girl was developing into a young woman and she's getting wider pelvis, she's growing wider hips, many mothers would want them to marry their child, or they'd want her to get married soon because it was a sign of fertility, wider pelvis. But she said she was told by her doctors that she had a narrower pelvis, which would make natural delivery almost impossible for her, if not impossible. So she always gave birth via cesarean section. So she books a date for her next delivery for the two boys, and she goes home to prepare for the delivery. She bought a new bail batch for her thrifts, and she went through them. It was the baby batch, and she went through all the onesies, the shirts, gathered everything, picked out the very best of the very best, washed them, sanitized everything, made sure everything is fresh and clean for her new babies, and proceeded to buy every other things, clothes, diapers, packed her bags, got ready. Like I said, not her first time. The date came around, raining, heavy downpour. But if you're gonna give birth, you gotta find a way to the hospital to give birth. Maybe try to wait out the rainer, or just, if it's safe to get there regardless, you do that. So she's weighing her options. She calls the hospital and says, it's raining, but we can make our way there if we have to. What do we do, doctor? And the main doctor she had been in contact with the whole time was Dr. Timothy. And Dr. Timothy told her, "Oh, it's raining heavily. You shouldn't risk your life and the life of the babies coming to the hospital now. Let's do it tomorrow. Not like you're in childbirth or anything." At that time, it's already 14 months, a year and 2 months. "So, what's another day? Let's do it tomorrow." She says, "Okay." The next day, 11th, she calls the hospital. "I will be coming in. It's not raining today." When I say calls the hospital, most likely calling the doctor, because she was speaking to Dr. Timothy. Timothy told her, "Oh, I'm not at the hospital today. I'm not here, so let's do it the next day. Let's not do it today. I'm not available." But she's thinking, Dr. Timothy isn't the only doctor in that hospital. If he's not available to help me, someone else will be available. So she makes her way to the hospital regardless. She gets there and tells them, "Get these babies out of me. Somebody get these babies out of me. Thank you." They take her to the birth room. She is on the gown, ready for delivery. There are 2 male nurses in there with her. As she walks in with the nurses and everything, right in there, in the birth room waiting for her, is Dr. Timothy, in the flesh. "Oh, Dr. Timothy, you're here." He doesn't even address her, doesn't even say anything, and honestly, she's not even in the mood to interact with anyone. She just wants to get this over with. When suddenly she notices the 2 male nurses are sort of bickering with each other, and she's thinking, what are they bickering about? They're bickering about where to administer her epidural. I mean, where did these people learn to do their jobs? One was saying, "Let's do it on the shoulder shot." The other saying, "No, epidural goes up the spine. Let's administer it in the spine." And the other saying, "No, shoulder is faster." She tells them, "I've birthed before, and every time I birthed, epidural always went in my spine. I've never heard of shoulder epidural before. Which of you is a quack? Come on, guys." They tell her, "Ma'am, lay on the bed. Get on the bed." Very aggressive with her. So she gets on the bed. As she laid down, the minute she laid on the bed, she had a needle stab her in the shoulder. Soon after, she knocked out. Does epidural put you to sleep? I don't know, guys. If you've ever had it administered, please let us know in the comment below. But I know from my little limited knowledge that it takes the pain away, or at least almost takes the entire pain away, but it doesn't put you to sleep. She said right after the shoulder shot, she's knocked out cold. I forgot. Before the delivery, before she gets into the birth room for the delivery, they did one more scan on her. And this time around, when they did the scan, the sonologist told her to take the result to the surgeon, Dr. Timothy. "Why don't you explain it to me? I just watched you explain to others before me. You have the result right here. It's part of your job to explain to me. Why are you not explaining to me?" "Go to the doctor. They'll explain it to you themselves." So she went to the doctor. This wasn't Timothy. This was another doctor. She went to the doctor, and the doctor told her, "Actually, ma'am, one of your child is healthy. Proper healthy. The other one is actually really, really sick. So I'll need you to get 1 baby clothes and 2 towels ready." "1 baby clothes? I'm expecting 2 babies." "Yeah, but the other is sick." "So 1 baby's healthy." She said to him, "A sick baby still wears clothes." The doctor said, "After the baby's born, we'll have to take them to ICU. And yeah, we'll have to put the baby on life support and all of that. So just bring 1 clothes." She said at the time she was not really in her right senses even to focus on those tiny details. She goes in for the delivery. She's knocked out cold. They operated on her, took out the babies. But one thing she couldn't rub off was, why is my husband not allowed in here? She requested over and over. Husband requested, and they wouldn't let him. She said to them, "Our previous births were CS, and my husband was in the room with me for the birth. Yes, it's gory, but he was in there with me. Why is he not allowed in here this time around? And now you guys are arguing about where to administer epidural? Everything is so iffy." She's already here. Too late now. She wakes up later. "Where's my baby?" oh, we handed the baby to your husband. So she's like, oh, okay. My husband has our babies, probably including the sick ones, or at least he knows how the sick one is doing. She's taken to receive emergency care because she said her tongue was so heavy, it was like falling over in her throat. She was going through a lot. Not sure if it's a result of the injection she received or the birth itself or side effect of the birth, trauma of birth, I don't know. But she said she had weird health conditions after the birth. She couldn't really speak. Her throat was heavy in her throat. It took her a while to recover from it. So the minute she could speak, she went to meet her husband. So she got pushed in the wheelchair because she just had CS. She can't really walk or move around. She went to meet the husband. The husband's holding a baby in his arm. She looks at him, and one look at the baby, she goes, "Why is he so green? Why is he green?" The husband said, "I never noticed he's green. I mean, they just handed him to me. I barely really looked at him. Besides his face, I didn't notice that his body was green." So she started taking off the clothes, shoving it up a little bit so she could see more of the baby's skin. And just like, he's so green, there's something wrong with him. That's the same as if kids of different skin tone were to be like purple or blue. So the baby was looking green. She immediately called out for help. The nurses and doctors came. They took the baby, rushed the baby to intensive care as well, help him saying the baby can't breathe, there's something wrong. And at that time, she's asking the husband, where's the other one? Because now she's thinking, this is the sick one. Where is the other one that's supposedly healthy and should be okay? Which other one? Because they didn't say anything about another baby. They just handed me this one baby and that was it. What are you saying? You knew we were having twins. They handed you one baby and that's it? You did nothing? You said nothing? And then she calmed herself because she's thinking maybe the baby died. And her husband is trying to protect her from that information just yet and will probably tell her later that the child didn't make it. So let's not push it. Let's just leave it be. After she was told, oh, the other baby is no longer green, they'll be fine. They just need to be, under surveillance for some time. But for now, we're positive. Now she's ready to figure out what happened to her other child. So she goes to the nurses, goes to the doctors, goes to Timothy. I keep wanting to call him Timonti. Timothy told her, actually, congratulations, your baby, congratulations. Actually, my wife as well is also pregnant. Yeah. And we should be having our own baby in about 2 weeks time. So we could celebrate our newborns together. And she's like, yeah. Congrats in advance. What happened to my other baby? Timothy said, which other baby? The other baby. Remember, I was carrying two. You handed me one. Where is the other? Oh, that other baby. Well, the baby scattered. What? The baby what? The baby was in pieces. When we went in there, in your belly to get the babies out, one was okay. The one we handed to you. The other was already gone and was in pieces in your belly. That's what happened. So there's no baby for you. We have just one. Okay, the baby died before birth. Okay, things like that happen. Where is the remains of my baby? Because as a mother, as a parent, you can't just tell them, oh, your child died, was in pieces, we took it out, and that's it. Be on your merry way with one baby. It doesn't work like that. And all she says they told her was the baby was in pieces, so there's no baby to show you. Can I see the remains? And they kept blowing her off. A week later, baby A that survived was taken to a much bigger hospital when he was green because they couldn't really save him at the hospital they were born at. So they took the baby A to a bigger hospital. He was fine after a week. The mother got the baby back. She had to be at the hospital where she gave birth for another week to recover from her cesarean injuries and everything. So baby A is back with her and she's planning to leave, she goes to the nurses. Please tell me about my other child. I'm not leaving without knowing what happened to my other child. They keep telling her, your baby died, your baby died, your baby died. She said, okay, I understand that. Where is his remains? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Where is my baby? Eventually, her husband told her, you know what? You're yet to recover. These people are still in charge of you, taking care of you, feeding you, hospital food. You don't want to annoy killer nurse or killer doctor and they end up doing something to you. So can we drop this for now until we're discharged? Then we can pick this up again. She said, okay, makes sense, totally. So she drops it 2 weeks after delivery. She's discharged, and before leaving again, she once again asked about her dead baby. And again, they toyed around with her. So she leaves with her baby A and her husband. They go home. A few days later, Dr. Timothy called them to tell them, I'm calling to inform that my wife just gave birth at the specialist hospital. We just had our own twins. Oh my God. Congratulations to us. And Mrs. Eunice is thinking to herself, that is very odd. Very, very odd. When I was there to give birth, Timothy's wife came to the hospital with lunch for Timothy. And because Timothy was trying to act like we're buddies, we're so close, we're friends, and you know when someone is planning to do something nefarious, but they think they're fooling you, and they start to over-explain everything, they start to act weird because they're trying to act normal, that they're now acting weird. Yeah, she feels like he was doing that, so he brought the wife over to introduce to Mrs. Eunice. Even though we're not friends, we're not buddies, we're not close at all, you're my doctor, I'm your patient. You don't need to introduce your wife to me. That's your personal life, personal information. You don't need to introduce your wife to me. But he brought his wife over to Mrs. Eunice. I was like, wife, meet Mrs. Eunice. Mrs. Eunice, love of my life. She brought me lunch. Isn't she adorable? Stuff like that. Mrs. Eunice was like, hi, nice to meet you. Timothy's wife, who doesn't look pregnant at all, who is so not pregnant, even though your husband says you both are expecting baby soon. Nice to meet you. And now, 2 weeks later, Timothy is telling them that same wife Mrs. Eunice believes did not look pregnant at all, and definitely not with twins, just gave birth to twins. Where was the pregnancy? Where was the pregnancy? Where was the baby bump? She's putting 2 and 2 together. I have a dead child that I received no remains of. Mrs. Timonti, who didn't look a day pregnant, just had a set of twins. Could one of that babies be mine? Only way to know is by seeing that baby. So she tells the husband immediately, tell him we're coming to visit. Which of the specialist hospitals, we're coming right now to visit the baby, to say our congratulations in person. And once the husband, Mr. Bright, told Mr. Timothy, we're coming to say congratulations and to say hi to your baby. Where did you guys give birth? Where are you guys? What hospital? Immediately, Timothy switched and was like, no, you don't have to come. You don't have to come right now because we're still at the hospital and it's not really convenient for us to have visitors come say hi to the baby just yet. We would prefer to have the baby home, be ready first before having people come over to say hi. So they thought, okay, let's not push it. They let it go. Some time passed. Mrs. Eunice is convinced that baby, one of the twins, is definitely my child. So they call again. Can we come visit sometime soon and say hi to the baby? And Timothy told them, actually, we are in church right now, so you guys can come visit today. So bye. And she's thinking, okay, we're calling to fix a day to come visit, not to come visit right now, but okay, we'll call some other time. And then they called again some other time, no answer. And every single time they call, no answer. And then baby A is 6 months old. She goes for the immunization, and that's where she runs into Timothy's wife. And she's able to recognize Timothy's wife because of that little meet and greet at the hospital when she brought her husband lunch. So she goes over. This is her great opportunity to know once and for all if that's her baby or not. So she goes, hi, looks at the baby, and as she's holding the 2 babies in her arm, she realizes they're identical. Her baby A had this growing dreadlock that the baby was naturally born with. Baby B, that's Timothy's baby, also had growing dreadlock, and they both looked identical at 6 months old. As she's looking at their features and everything, she's convinced this is my baby. And then she's like, hold up a minute, which of this baby is actually mine that I came with, and which is from the stroller? But then she remembered the outfit she put on her baby from home. So she's like, oh, this is mine. This is the outfit I picked this morning. So this one is mine. And the other, I believe in my heart, is mine as well. And I'm going to prove it. In that very moment, she handed the baby back to Timothy's wife. They had a brief conversation. She's trying to become friendly with the wife, trying to make friends with the wife. And she leaves, goes straight to the hospital where she gave birth to her twins, requested, again, I need to know what happened to my child. Ma'am, we've been over this over and over and over again. It's been months now. Your child died. Can I have my files? All the files from the very first day I came to this hospital, all my scan results, every test, I want everything. Can you hand it all over to me right now? That is something you can do, yeah? I said, yeah, of course you can do that. Only if we can find it. Let's look. So sorry. We burned it. It's been 6 months since you gave birth. It's been 6 months too long. So we burned it. She goes, why would you burn it? My other children I gave birth to years ago, if I go to the hospital where I birthed them, their files are still there. No one burned it. And you're telling me the birth I had 6 months ago, you've already burned evidence? Well, maybe we haven't burned it, so you could go to the back where we're actively burning stuff. If you find yours not burned yet, you might find the pieces, the unburned parts, the ashes. You might still see a letter or two to identify, go look there. If you don't find anything, then we burned it. So she goes to the back. Nothing. There's no fire pit, nothing. She comes back. There's nothing there, no sign anything was burned. That means we already burned it and we're over. We're done burning it. We moved on. So you should too. We don't have any files for you. We burned everything. Now she's pissed. What do you mean you burned everything? She went home, felt like there was nothing she could do. Now she has no proof even she was pregnant with twins. The hospital could say, oh, she birthed just one child. She always carried one child. It was never twins. So she would go to the hospital where she's getting her baby A shots and would always run into a doctor's wife. So she took that opportunity to make friends with her immediately. The next time she was going, hoping to run into her, she took some fabrics that she hadn't sewn into outfits yet with her to make it seem like she's desperate for money. She needs help in any form. She goes to the doctor's wife. He starts complaining, life is so tough, life is difficult. In fact, I have these fabrics. Could you buy them from me? I need the money. I need to feed my babies. I need to feed my kids. Please. Also, your husband was supposed to borrow me some money. He promised me some money, but I haven't gotten it yet. So please, could you buy this fabric from me? The doctor's wife, in turn, started confiding in her as well about her marital problems, her family problems, and they became close. Eventually, doctor's wife invited her over to their home. She would visit them at their home. She would use that opportunity to get close to her baby. And she noticed, why is it that my baby isn't properly taken care of? If you guys wanted a baby so bad that you took someone else's baby, I would hope you would pamper this baby. The baby would poop. The diaper would never get changed for hours, or at times the diaper would be taken off the baby's butt, but the baby wouldn't be cleaned up. So the poop would just cake onto its tiny butt. The child would crawl around, move around with poopy butt. Or the child would be hungry. The mother wouldn't even care to feed the child or even take care of the child. That Mrs. Eunice would get upset. Woman, pay attention to your kids more. Could you please feed this baby? He's so hungry. He's starving. He's crying. Could you clean him up? He's dirty. He's stinky. Or could you change his diaper? Could you pay him some attention? So she started visiting more just to keep an eye on the child and help the child. And I was telling the mother, could you take better care of this child, please, because it's hurting her. If you wanted my child so bad that you took it, you might as well just take good care of it. So one day, as she's fighting the mother. Pay attention to your child. Change his diaper. Give him a shower. The mother asked Mrs. Eunice, why is it that you're always advocating for this child? Always insisting he gets attention, gets fed, gets taken care of. What is it about this child? And she said, no, it's nothing. It just breaks my heart to see the child not being taken care of. I'm a mother, I'm thinking, has the doctor's wife never met Mrs. Eunice's baby A? Because if she did, she would know that her baby B, looks exactly identical to baby A. Mrs. Eunice goes home, and it's hurting her. A year has passed now. Her child is turning a year old, meaning the doctor's child too is also about to turn a year old. What can I do? I keep feeling in my heart that's my child. My body is still responding to my child. Every time I go to visit, it's getting harder. She marches there on one evening. When she went there, the doctor's home. The wife is home on the couch. The doctor's reading some article, just doing whatever. She walks in and she tells them, I came for my child. I've tried, I can't. This boy is my child. I need my child back. Please hand him over. The doctor was like, okay, you can take him. That's it. She's taken aback at first. Okay, I wasn't expecting it to be that easy. I thought at least I'd fight for the child, but okay. She walks over to the child, picks the child up, about to walk out. Timonti's wife gets up and grabs Mrs. Eunice by the neck. Put my child down. This is my child. This is not yours. No, you know you did not birth this child. You know the truth. You didn't birth this child. This is my child, and I'm walking out of here with my child. Mrs. Timonti starts shouting, calling out the neighbors that Mrs. Eunice is here to steal her child, that she's a thief, she's a kidnapper. And while she's still trying to get attention, Mrs. Eunice is saying to her, why are you doing this? You're not even taking proper care of him. This is my child. Let me leave with my child. Mrs. Timonti scoots closer and goes, why are you coming for the child now? Why didn't you take him away sooner? A week old? A month old? Why wait for us to take care of your child for free for a year? And now you come for the child. Mrs. Eunice said to them, I always wanted my child. I never asked you to steal my child in the first place. I never asked you to take care of my child for free. Your husband kept lying to me that my child died. I never rejected this child. I wanted this child, and I can't live without my child anymore, so I'm leaving with my child. Eventually, the neighbors gathered. She told everyone Mrs. Eunice was a kidnapper. People immediately jumped the gun. They started beating Mrs. Eunice up, according to Mrs. Eunice. Again, everything I'm telling you is according to Mrs. Eunice and her family. She said they started to beat her up. The youths, the curious cats, everyone that gathered, they started beating her up, saying she was a thief. She came to steal a child. She had to start explaining to people, no, this is actually my child. This is my child who was stolen at birth. And she explained everything as fast as she could from the beginning. And she told them, actually, you know what? I have my hospital registration card that I bought the first time I went to the hospital, because at that time, Mrs. Timonti and Mr. Timonti are saying, no, we don't know this woman. We didn't help her birth any child. She's never been to our hospital. She's never given birth at our hospital. We have no record of her, because remember, they told her her file was destroyed. It was burned. She said they were now telling the onlookers and neighbors that she never visited their hospital, never gave birth there, no record of her. She just came to steal their child. She's crazy. She's mad. She's delusional. So she's explaining. Some people are still beating her up.
That they beat me for her. They beat me everywhere. They say I'm a mad woman. I be mad woman. Why am I? They say, me they don't mind my talk, I'm a mad woman. They beat me as they what. I say, even though they carry knife, they cut me. I will never step down until my son come back.
She told them, you know what? I can prove that I've been to his hospital. I birthed my child at his hospital because I have the hospital registration card. So they went home. She didn't have her key with her. The whole hassle, I'm sure she lost it. So they broke down the door. She went in, found the card, showed to them. Now, that debunks the doctor and the wife's story that they don't know her. She's a thief, because here she is with a registration card for pregnancy at their hospital. Mrs. Eunice is starting to have advocates who are advocating for her. Hold on, guys, hold on. We don't think she's a thief. Everything she's saying, this proves that at least she was at the hospital. Let's go to the police, go to the right legal station and get their help, because at the end of the day, we're just onlookers. We're curious cats. Let's go to people who can actually do something about the situation. So they took them to the police station, and again, it all happened all over again. She explained everything, showed them the hospital result, the hospital registration card, and the officers were like, where's the file? At this point, when she shows that she actually was registered there, Timothy is saying, yeah, she was there, but she gave birth to just one child. She gave birth to a child, not twins. They asked her, where's the hospital file? She tells them, they destroyed it. They told me they burned it. Timothy told them, no, that's a lie. We would never do that. Very unethical. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that. We have her file. Yes, we do. And we can show it to you if you're interested. So of course the authorities, the police are like, yeah, show it to us. So they all went to the hospital and they brought out freshly printed files. If you tested it, you'll probably find 0 fingerprints besides whoever printed them. She said she's never seen those files in her life before, and possibly all doctored. She tells them, these are not my files. I have no idea what this information is, because I'm telling you, they burned my file. Most of the police officers, according to her, turned on her. They're starting to believe that she's crazy, she's delusional, and there's something wrong with her. So they take her back to the station. She's getting beat up even at the station as well. The husband comes to visit with their son, the youngest, baby A, and the minute some of the officers saw her baby A, and saw baby B, that is Timothy's child, they all went, wait a minute. Why are these kids identical? Why do they look identical? Dreads, facial features, height, looks. Mrs. Eunice is like, because I believe they're brothers. Timothy and the wife go, freak accident? I mean, what excuse do you have to that? They're just like, that's our child. We have no idea. That's our child. Coincidence? Yeah. A joke from the universe? It could be possible. Cosmical joke? Because that's my little swimmer right there. Double gangers? That's a good one. Yeah, double gangers. Ever heard of it? And most of the higher-ups at this police station all knew Timothy because he's a surgeon. This happened in the Federal Capital Territory, in a town in the territory. So he's a surgeon, prestigious occupation or career in the country. These police higher-ups at that station, they all knew him. So even though nothing made sense, they patronized them. So Mrs. Eunice ended up being locked up at the police cell. At the police cell, I tell you, with the baby. Baby A was in the cell with her for some days, and eventually they were let go and they were told to drop it. She went looking for help. No one really to help her. She's miserable. She's feeling like, is this really how I'm gonna lose my child? Then she keeps going back to the police station. You guys need to help me. You guys need to help me. I demand a DNA test. I want a DNA test to be carried out on these 2 boys. She said she was told by the officers that the boys need to be at least 8 years old before they could conduct a DNA test. I've heard of cases where a fetus in the belly gets tested even before birth. But she says she was told kids who were like a year old, but no, they need to be at least 8 years old before DNA testing could be carried out. God. So she says, it doesn't make sense. I know DNA testing can be carried out, but why are you guys refusing to do that? Eventually she felt defeated. She let it be for some time. She went on a radio station, a program at Love FM, and they interviewed her about the case again. She spoke about it. She mentioned everyone's name. She even had an issue with her eldest sister, who seemed to be supporting Dr. Timothy and the wife, and she believed she was also receiving benefits from the doctor, hence why she was supporting them instead of her own biological sister. It's a huge mess. And after the radio interview, Timothy and his family reported her to the station, to the police officers, that she's slandering and all that, and she got arrested again. She got arrested and she was locked up for 5 days. The kids were with the husband. The 3 boys were with her husband for 5 days, and then she was taken to court because she was up and about talking about it and basically going on a smear campaign, according to her, and she was taken to prison, and she was locked up in prison for about 3 days. Her husband was locked up with her for about 2 days, and eventually they were released because that was injustice, totally injustice, because the CID, Nigerian Police Force CID, which is the Criminal Investigation Department, and also the FIB, which is the Force Intelligence Bureau, they were all involved in the case. Every single time the 2 families would come with their boys, everyone from all the divisions, everywhere they took the case to, whenever the 2 families would bring their sons, they'd go, wait a minute, why do they look identical? If they all feel the kids look identical, why are they not conducting a DNA test? Why? Eventually, an organization heard about the situation. They called her, Mrs. Eunice. She explained everything to them. They told her, you know what, we're going to take it to the higher up, one of the higher ups from the headquarters, and he will make sure everything's done. He will make sure you're helped. So the organization spoke to the higher up, who called them and told them, you need to come, write a statement so we know, and then we'll take action. So she went in with her husband. They related everything again, the official statement and all, and now the higher up took the matter serious. Soon after, they got a call from the police station, the same one that was taking them very unseriously before, the same one that knew that most of the officials knew Dr. Timothy. They all called her again and was like, why are you taking it to the higher ups? We're totally capable of solving this on our own. Just tell us what to do. We'll do anything. We can solve this amicably. You don't need to involve the big dogs, come into the station. Let's settle this once and for all. Mrs. Eunice and the husband were like, no, we're not. We've been coming to you, begging you. You guys beat us up. You toyed around with us, took us very unseriously, and now you want to finally do your job? No, thank you. Now, that division was under so much heat that they finally said, you know what? Let's do the DNA testing. Let's do it once and for all. It's going to cost you 5 million naira for the testing. Both families will split the cost and get it done. Mrs. Eunice and the husband were like, of course, let's do it. The Ministry of Women Affairs heard about the situation, and they donated 1.5 million naira towards their own cost of the DNA testing fee. And the kids' samples were taken for the DNA testing. While they were taking the samples for the testing, one of the police officers said to Mrs. Eunice, according to her, how come you're not crying? Mrs. Timothy is crying. She's so distraught by the whole situation. How come you're not crying? Are you sure you're not just looking for attention? Because you don't seem to be distraught about it at all. You're not traumatized. You're not reacting like someone who's going through this tug of war over custody of a child and ownership of a child. Mrs. Eunice said to her, what are you doing? What are you saying? Do I need to roll on the ground for you to know I'm affected by this? I've been crying over the loss of my child for months now. Do I need to come put on a show for you to show to you that I take this seriously? One of the official member came to her and was like, so, what about the paternity of your other 2 boys? Do we need to do DNA testing on those as well? Mrs. Eunice flipped on them. She was pissed. What is this? Why are you taking me as such a joke? I'm not here to determine the paternity of my other 2 kids. I have a husband. We planned and happily birthed them. I wouldn't be asking for DNA testing of this other set of kids if not that I feel something fishy happened to one of my twins. Don't insult me like that. She was so mad that the other officer had to apologize to her. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to insult you. Yeah. We'll focus on these 2. I'm so sorry about that. And eventually, they kept waiting for result. They got pushed around, played around, toyed around over and over and over. At one point, when she went asking for the result, come on, tell us what's going on. What's the result of the test? We need to know. My child is being returned to the Timothy family because it's been a while now. The child was at the orphanage until the result was back so they could determine which home the child would be sent to, if back to the Timothys or off with the Brights. And now she's being told, oh, the child is going to be handed back to the Timothys. So she rushes over and she's like, why are you handing my child back to the alleged thieves? What happened to the result? And I told her, well, ma'am, the result said the child is not yours. The result is out? Is the result out? Can we see the result? And they threatened to lock them up again. So currently, it's an unresolved mystery. I feel so bad doing this to you because we have no answers. If the child is really identical to the child with Mr. and Mrs. Bright, what are the odds that two separate families, unrelated at all, to have identical kids, totally unrelated? What are the odds of that? And what are your thoughts on this case? I'd like to know what you think about this case. To me, this one is a big mystery that I can't even start to understand. I can't really understand Mrs. Eunice and what she's going through. I know for a fact it's not easy because it's never easy to lose a family member, and I'm sure that is intensified for mothers. I have no idea what she's going through, but I would love to send my love to her. And please, guys, if you know about this case, you know of any information that could be of help to them, please try to reach out. And I'd like to know what you think of this case. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one. I have totally no idea what I want to discuss next week, but if you have any suggestions, please leave in the comment below. I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.